Hello, my name is Jennifer Smith, and I'm a traditional naturopath here to talk to you more about LifeWave's wearable phototherapy technology. This information has not been evaluated by the FDA. This is for educational purposes only, and it is not intended to cure, treat, prevent, or diagnose any disease. Please consult with your healthcare practitioner for advice specific to your individual condition. Now, in part one of my introduction to LifeWave phototherapy video, I explained the difference between exogenous phototherapy, where you stand inside of or in front of a phototherapy machine to produce beneficial results, versus using LifeWave's phototherapy patches that use your own body as the power source. The results you receive from any form of phototherapy is called photobiomodulation. Just to review, the patches are non-transdermal, so nothing foreign enters the body, which means there are no dosing concerns, no allergy concerns, and no drug interactions. In fact, it's entirely possible that you'll need to work with your medical doctor to eventually reduce or even discontinue some of the medications you're on. The patches merely reflect back specific wavelengths of light that you're naturally emitting. They do not heal you. Instead, the patches give your body some of the tools it needs to heal itself. Each sleeve contains 30 patches, and each patch has its own 12-hour window that you choose based on your schedule. My personal 12-hour window is 10 to 10. So at 10 a.m., I apply my daytime patches to clean, dry skin and go about my day wearing them while fully hydrated. At 10 p.m., I remove them and apply my nighttime patches that I wear for 12 hours before starting the process over. Your personal 12-hour window might be 7 to 7 or 9 to 9. It's whatever works with your schedule. When I remove my used patches, I have the option to toss them because they're organic materials, mostly amino acids, forming the reflective crystal lattice structure that starts to break down after being on my warm body for 12 hours. But what I and many of us choose to do is apply them to our pets because there's still a few hours left that they can benefit from. The other reason you'll want to remove your patches after 12 hours is to prevent attenuation. Attenuation is really just a reduction in your body's response to phototherapy when you subject yourself to too much of it. Now, if you forget to remove your patches, which happens from time to time, simply skip a day and then resume your schedule the following day. And on the subject of hydration, a good rule of thumb is to drink half your body weight in ounces of water per day, preferably with some healthy electrolytes, and at least one glass for improved conductivity and cellular communication. For example, a 150-pound person would drink 75 ounces of clean, pure water per day. And if you're drinking alcohol or consuming caffeine, you'll want to drink even more water in order to compensate for what you've been depleted of. Regarding electrolytes, there are some good brands out there that are made without artificial colors, artificial flavors, or artificial sweeteners. Or you might choose to make your own electrolyte drink like I often do, using ingredients like Celtic salt, fresh lemon juice, and a few drops of raw honey. Coconut water is also a natural source of electrolytes. It's one of my favorites. When I was first introduced to this technology, I did a lot of research and I was amazed at what I found. I didn't feel I had any health problems, but I wanted to use the patches for longevity and to avoid health problems. Well, I clearly underestimated these patches, and what they could do, because even though I had nothing that would be considered a chronic diagnosis, I certainly benefited more than I would have imagined. As I mentioned in my last video, we're all so different, so everyone responds to this technology a little differently. The benefits compound over time, so I'll personally never be without them. Without using any disease names, here's some of what I've experienced so far. Better daytime energy and mental clarity, the reversal of receding gums and pockets, so I no longer need grafting surgery, a dramatic reduction in the foot and back pain that I've had since childhood, improved eyesight, especially my night vision, healthier skin, including no more skin tags, enhanced immune function, and the elimination of motion sickness and a random, let's call it dizziness, spinning sensation that I had developed about 5 or 6 months prior to patching. One thing I've never done is get my biomarkers tested to compare my biological age against my chronological age. So you've probably seen TV shows where they compare two people with the same chronological age, but their biological age varies widely due to lifestyle habits. Everyone I've known who's had their biomarkers tested prior to patching and then again at 6 months has reduced their biological age by at least a few years in that amount of time. So even though they chronologically age by 6 months, their biological age reversed by several years. I will say that at age 55, I undoubtedly feel better than I did at 45. So now I'd like to go a little deeper than I did in my introductory part one video to give you some additional tips and details on using these wearable phototherapy patches so you'll get the most out of them. X39 is our foundational patch that resets over 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state, elevating the GHK copper peptide in the body, which rises in tandem with our endogenous pluripotent stem cells. You've likely heard of famous people traveling to international stem cell clinics to receive exogenous stem cell injections into a specific area, like maybe their shoulder, knee, or back, from a donor. Well, this patch is very different from that. Not only is it a tiny fraction of the cost, but there's never any rejection or any ethical concerns by activating your own stem cells. Plus, this patch provides systemic benefits rather than just in a specific area. For example, it might help your body repair the liver, heart, or kidney first, regardless of whether or not you feel it. And then your body might go to work on areas that you do feel. X39 is recommended for daytime use due to the energy increase it often provides. And the most common placement recommendations are C7, cervical 7, which is that vertebrae that sticks out when you bend your head down, or CV6, conception vessel 6, which is located two finger widths below the navel. Those two locations both contain nice nerve bundles, and they're also the two locations used in clinical studies. The clinical studies were all double-blind, placebo-controlled studies. So regardless of whether the participant received the placebo or the real thing, the patches had to be placed in one of those two locations. But X39 is a patch that can really be placed anywhere on the body, including an area that needs a little more attention. For example, if you have pain in your shoulder, it's perfectly fine to place it there. So, speaking of studies, Dr. Lauren Picard discovered the GHK copper peptide in 1973 and studied it for 50 years. You'll find lots of his research published on sites like PubMed.com. Among Dr. Picard's many different discoveries is that GHKCU can promote apoptosis for the suppression of certain cancers. Again, the patches don't heal the body, but rather they help the body heal itself. The X49 patch elevates the AHK copper peptide, and it's also recommended for daytime use with the same two placement recommendations. X39 and X49 work synergistically, especially for athletic performance, which is why these two are available for a special price as the performance bundle. They can also stand alone, just like all the patches LifeWave offers. In addition to building lean muscle mass, people wear X49 to elevate HKCU for various other reasons. While I can't use disease names, I can say that one of our clinical studies shows that it increases bone density, and I've seen it firsthand. In addition to that, I also know of a lot of other firsthand stories with regard to safe hair regrowth, as well as improvements in cardiovascular and neurological health. I personally wear X49 because it acts as an internal Faraday cage to help protect against harmful EMF radiation. The Eon patch that elevates SOD, superoxide dismutase, can be worn day or night and virtually anywhere on the body, though most of the common placement recommendations are also C7 or CV6. You'll also hear people say to patch the point of pain, which is fine too. Now, due to its broad spectrum anti-inflammatory and stress relieving properties, Eon pairs well with X39, which we call the dynamic duo. It's great to reduce stress and inflammation so your stem cells have a more clear pathway to do the renew, repair, and regeneration work. LifeWave is the two-patch system that can be worn day or night for safe acute pain relief using the polarity of your body. In most cases, you'll apply the tan patch on the left side of the body and the white patch on the right. For example, if you have headache pain, you can place the white patch on the right temple and the tan patch on the left temple. If the patch lies across the lower back, you'll place the white patch to the right of the spine and the tan patch to the left. But pain can be complicated. So, if a person has a painful shoulder, they might use the clock method, in which case they'll place the tan patch on the most intense point of pain and then remove just half the backing from the white patch and place it at the 3 o'clock position, or I'm sorry, the 12 o'clock position. And, if the wait and see for a bit if the pain subsides, and if not, move the white patch to the 3 o'clock position, then try the 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock position if necessary before removing the other half of the backing so that way it'll stick. Some people respond to ice wave within a few seconds, while other people can take an hour or more. I typically respond within 7 or 8 minutes. Now, when someone has pain throughout their entire body, it's common to bracket the pain with two sets of ice wave, while X39 and Eon work on a deeper, more restorative level. For example, you might place one set of ice wave on the bottoms of the feet, again, white on right, tan on left, and another set of ice wave on top of the shoulders or the clavicle area. In most cases, I don't recommend wearing two of any other patch though, because it only results in a 20% increase in benefits. But when it comes to injuries and pain, that additional 20% can be priceless. SB6 Complete for balancing the endocrine system is a unique patch from the standpoint that it is only placed on the left side of the body, either 4 finger widths above the left ankle, below the knee, or just above the heel. You'll receive instructions with your patches showing those specific left side locations, and most people rotate among them. The name SP6 comes from the spleen 6 meridian, which is used in acupuncture or acupressure. In fact, many of the patch placement recommendations are based on energy meridians, which are just collagen bundles within the body's fascia network. Because one of the side benefits of SP6 is a reduction of blood sugar and food cravings, this patch is recommended for daytime use. And one note regarding SP6 is that even though there are no drug interactions while using these non-transdermal patches, you may not want to wear SP6 if you're receiving hormone therapy, because SP6 is all about balancing hormones, which can conflict with adding hormones. Just something to consider. The carnosine patch that elevates this potent antioxidant peptide with so many benefits can be worn in a number of locations on the center or right side of the body. Due to the cardiovascular benefits, it's also worn over the sternum, often I should say, or also over the C7, the right hand, foot, ankle, or other various locations. But while the carnosine patch can be worn day or night, some people do report vivid dreams when wearing it at night. That could be good or bad, you decide. But I like to wear it over the C7 up near the brain during the daytime because the incidence of, let's say, memory related neurological conditions has skyrocketed. And one of the side benefits of carnosine is the elimination of aluminum. Even though I make a concerted effort to avoid aluminum from pots and pans, cans, foil, antiperspirant, and vaccines, there's still some aluminum that we just can't avoid. Therefore, I wear the carnosine patch 4 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. Silent Nights is obviously worn at night, and it's also the only patch that you don't necessarily have to wear for 12 hours. You might even get 2 nights out of Silent Nights if you remove it in between and store it away from the body in a cool, dark place. Because again, these patches are activated by your body's heat and light. You'll see multiple placement options on the center or right side of the body, but my favorite place to wear Silent Nights, which I really only wear when I travel, is over the pineal gland where our melatonin is produced or behind my right earlobe. And whether it's melatonin, collagen, vitamin D, glutathione, or otherwise, I always say, don't take it if you can make it. In other words, your own endogenous nutrient molecules are always going to be more bioavailable than an exogenous supplement. Which leads me to glutathione. This patch was a big draw for me because glutathione, as our master antioxidant and master detoxer, has so many benefits ranging from deep immune support to the elimination of mold, heavy metals, pesticides, herbicides, and other pollutants. But all forms of glutathione supplementation, such as IV, pills, suppositories, they all have their drawbacks. Again, don't make it if you can, or don't take it if you can make it. Now, X39 elevates your glutathione levels by about 30%, which is a nice side benefit. But the glutathione patch elevates your glutathione levels by an average of 300%. Why does this matter? Well, because we live in a toxic world. Our food, water, personal care products, home furnishings, and just overall environments are more toxic than they've ever been. And glutathione deficiency is associated with many diseases ranging from Parkinson's to diabetes. So, this is a patch to consider at some point, even if you only use it a few days a week, like I do, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And while glutathione can be worn day or night, I recommend daytime because that's when your body is moving, and therefore that's also when your lymphatic system is moving. Just be sure you're well hydrated, especially with this patch. Originally developed for the Navy SEALs, this is the two-patch system that started it all. Energy enhancer triggers beta oxidation, which is a catabolic process that burns fat for fuel to provide clean, stimulant-free energy through the mitochondria. Just like LifeWave, the energy enhancers are placed bilaterally on the body with the tan patch on the left side and the white patch on the right. So this could be, clavicles, wrists, ankles, arms, other areas, bottoms of the feet. So many multiple different location or placement options there. Obviously, energy enhancers are daytime patches, and everyone's favorite side benefit is the ability to burn an extra 300 to 600 calories per day with them. But I always also love the fact that energy enhancers help move the lymphatic system, which is why I recommend them when traveling. And finally, Alavita, which elevates epithalamin, the fountain of youth peptide, to promote healthy skin from the inside out. Now, in my previous video, I stated that Alavita lengthens telomeres, which are located at the ends of our chromosomes and directly tied to longevity. Another side benefit is that it elevates our melatonin levels a bit. Therefore, the Alavita patch is recommended for nighttime use with multiple placement locations on the center or right side of the body, such as C7 or CV6, or my favorites over the pineal gland or décolleté area. So once again, don't let all this information overwhelm you. Most people wear X39 and maybe Eon, which is what we call the dynamic duo. You can accomplish so much in the body when you lower stress and inflammation to clear the pathway for your pluripotent master cells to renew, repair, and regenerate, starting with whatever is most critically needed in your body first. To summarize, LifeWave's patches are non-transdermal. They're an affordable, patented, wearable form of phototherapy that uses your own body as the power source. You simply wear each patch for 12 hours a day. The key is to be consistent, patient, and hydrated. And don't give up before you get your miracle. You can click the link below for more information on startx39now.com, including the highlights of over 90 clinical studies. The password for that website is share, all lowercase letters. And if someone else shared this video with you, please connect with him or her to get started with the patches and pricing that's best suited for you. Regardless, please meet me back here for more information on a variety of health topics. I'll post the replay after going live at 5 on Wednesdays, and that's Eastern Time. Thank you so much, and I look forward to hearing how this technology can benefit you.